What does reality consist of? It consists of everything that is going on, what we refer to as the world. But actually, more crucially, it also consists of our response to the world. It consists of our thoughts, our feelings, our ideas, our beliefs. And this is reality for most of us. As Enlightenment practitioners, we have the option of stepping back from all of this. I feel compelled to say that in stepping back and remembering that stepping back is a form of embracing, but embracing without engaging. So the stepping back is really a disengagement. And the important thing here is that we can actually disengage from our own thoughts, our own moods. And this can only happen with the realization of the nature of that which is aware of this reality, that is aware of the reality of the so-called external world and the reality of our moods and thoughts. Awareness. So we don't just disengage, we don't just step back. We realize awareness. The emphasis tends to be on what we refer to as the visible world. And that's usually the emphasis in these verses. But we must bear in mind that what's meant by the visible world, what's meant by the external world, also includes our thoughts. Our thoughts are going on, just as our dreams are going on, just as reality is going on. We tend to call them my thoughts, my dreams. But we've got no more control over them than we have of external reality. We can maybe learn to navigate them a bit better, but they're actually all part of the landscape. So it's important to bear this in mind when we talk about the visible world. It also includes thoughts, feelings, and everything that we normally regard as inner. So these verses here that we're looking at are getting down to some quite fine observations with regards to enlightenment practice. And this visible world, or the physical world and the world of our thoughts and passions, has been very much the bane of those that have taken up the religious life or the spiritual life. They have to fight against it, fight against giving in to their passions. I'm not sure that many, if any, actually succeed. There's a tradition in India, though, of ascetics who conquer the allure of the body and of the world, who conquer the passions of the body and of the world. But there's a much easier method to do this, and that is realizing that the world has no substantial reality, that it is of the nature of a dream, that it is dependent on awareness, on consciousness. Any argument to the contrary is a story that we adhere to, either out of faith or maybe out of some kind of fragmented logic. The fact is, whatever the explanation, whatever the argument to the contrary, it's only there because you're actually sentient, you're actually aware. Your capability to make such a statement depends on being sentient, being aware. So this awareness is the prime reality. So the easiest method then is to realize the insubstantial nature of the world. our reality, our personal reality actually is very insubstantial. It consists of ideas, it consists of feelings, it consists of notions, opinions, beliefs. That's what we actually relate to. All of that is insubstantial. It's not material. We are not materialists. Our materialism is a very abstract thing. Look at money. Money is such an abstract thing. The notion of ownership. Anyway, let's press on with verse 513. When the visible world is thus approached, it is anywhere neither existent nor non-existent. Nor is it not existent and non-existent. Putting itself under causation, reality is not the subject of discrimination to the wise. So the previous verses were about causation. Causation is one of those factors by which we argue for the reality of an external world. We say that it came into being so many years ago and that all these things gave rise to the present situation. And if you have these conditions, then you'll get this kind of result, and so on. So it's been about causation. But here we're told that is anywhere neither existent nor non-existent. So I said it's insubstantial, which means it doesn't have any real existence. But there's clearly something there. It's like a mirage. A mirage has its own reality, but it's not real. So we can't really say that it exists or that it doesn't exist. And the next phrase, I think the translation doesn't make it very clear. Nor is it not existent and non-existent. You may ask, what's the difference between not existent and non-existent? Well, in Buddhism, there are 4 categories of logic. In Western logic, we've got 2 categories. Something can either be something or it's not that thing. If something exists, then it's not right to say that it doesn't exist. If something is black, it cannot be white. It's either black or it's not. But with the case of existence as applied to a mirage, we can see that it, in a sense, it exists, but in a sense it doesn't exist. So in Buddhist logic, we've got these 4 possibilities. Something is either A or it's not A. But it can also be both A and not A. So that's the third possibility. It's either A, that's one possibility, or it's not A, that's the second possibility. Or it can be both A and not A. That's the third possibility. And the fourth possibility is it can be neither A nor not A. So you're saying that it can be neither existent nor non-existent. And I think that that's what this phrase is supposed to be spelling out. So in other words, don't even try pinning a label on reality. There's an important point here, and that is that the nature of the world is actually the same as the nature of liberation. And if we look into the nature of the world thoroughly enough, including the world of our own perceptions, our own moods and so on, then we should come to liberation. We should realize that it depends on that which is examining it, that which is looking at it. And what is looking at it is our attention. We turn our attention to the world. And when we examine this situation, we have to ultimately examine the attention. And the attention is awareness which is going out from itself. which is projecting outwards. The attention is awareness projecting outwards. So when we stop that projecting outwards and come back to what we can call, what we can refer to as a sense of being, and realize that everything is happening here, that this is liberation. So putting itself under causation, reality is not the subject of discrimination to the wise. And when we discriminate, that's when we're putting the attention out there, that's when we're putting the awareness out there in the form of the attention and constructing ideas of an external world. The wise do not do this. The wise refers to the enlightenment practitioner. So we can come back to this. Come back to this awareness. In this awareness, all anxieties melt away. All concerns melt away. We're no longer caught up in the dream. We might have to enter the dream again at some point, but when we're practicing, which is hopefully more and more often, we come back to the still center. And it's not just a center, because the center is everything.